It's been a minute, ain't it? Let me make sure that's even working. That's how long it's been. That's how long it's been. That's how long it's been. Okay, good. Yeah, we got sound. We got sound. Oh my gosh. Let me just take a second because it's been a minute. Let me just put my head down here and just think about it, guys. Like, we're finally back though. We are finally back, and of course, I'm not gonna be able to see what it is I'm looking at. Am I? Nope, don't look like it. Oh well. But all right, we're here. So I want this particular stream to be quick and short, just because I gotta wake up super early tomorrow. So an update. What have I been doing? It's been a couple of months, man. You ain't touched nothing. You ain't do anything. You ain't seen, heard, or nothing like that. Look, I've been digging in. I was digging into something crazy, and that was artificial intelligence. Right? I had this idea. I was like, bro, you know what? Once I, work a little bit and I get comfortable with using the stuff I'm using, why don't I learn AI? How hard could that be? Oh, how hard can that be? Let me, before I even get to that, let me just real quick. So, website, all of the hero stats are up to date, minus the very last update. The very last update where they made adjustments. I haven't had a chance to look through that quite yet, but all hero stats should be good. I hope all items and item stats are good. Right? So all that is all good. We are good. What we was working on before we started working on AI, right? So if you look here, right? So I was getting ready to start designing. A lot of this don't even work or even would show you anything. When I get the production, I don't even think even the one I was working on, I'm even showing anymore. But let me look and see here. All right. We were, as I remember, we were making the builder website. I was making a damage simulator. I was working on a damage simulator. I was working on a little form thing when you're looking for a hero, like when you're trying to build a party up and you needed a, specific character. I was doing this cool creative thing where people will select what they want or what they're looking for. Right. And then if you're signed in or whatever, you'd be able to, you'd be able to get matched up real quickly with stuff like that. I was working on Hero and Item Wiki. I might finish that one up. That one was just a place where y'all could just pull up just whatever information you want on whatever item or hero. I think I'm gonna still do that. And then here we are, this AI helper. All right, let's click on this AI. Well, before I even click on the AI helper, should I give you? No, we're gonna click on the AI helper first. I'm gonna show y'all something afterwards. All right. Here go my little AI helper. Let's we got more bots and stuff. Let me just move this over here. I ain't gotta see those bots. All right, AI helper. So what does this AI helper do? Okay, let's get into a story about how exactly I was learning this AI thing. So turns out, right? So AI, right, is the end result of a whole lot of other things that you got to learn and be able to do first before you can get to then AI. And my sweet baby Jesus, was it so much? Crazy, man. Just good, crazy stuff, right? I learned, doing the website, I already was learning, PHP, JavaScript, all the good, program stuff. Oh, that's cool and everything. Then we had to learn machine learning, right? Machine learning concepts, right? We had to learn just the implementation of machine learning, computer vision. We had to learn some computer vision stuff, right? Oh my God. Then we started to learn, then we had to learn the tools that we were going to use, right? Now, good thing I was used to already kind of sort of how Python works, but what I wasn't used to was this new thing we had to learn. TensorFlow. TensorFlow was what we were going to use in order to bring AI. But before we got the TensorFlow, we was trying a bunch of other things because for the love of God, they do not make this stuff because it's so, AI is just still they've been doing AI for a while, right? But as far as mainstream AI, that stuff is still crazy new because I could not find anything that helped me get started the easy way. So I had to do it the hard way, where I had to just really just be like, I gotta take it from step 001 before I can get to step 1. So we sitting here, we're like, all right, we tried all these things. We tried MJ5. What are some other one? I can't even think of the names right now because like my brain is just mush at that period. Because it took me a week of sifting through just before I could even decide on a AI language that I was going to use. Then we did TensorFlow. Then we learned TensorFlow JS, right? Then it wasn't working for us. That's when we tried the other things. Then we went back to TensorFlow JS. Then we went, and we realized that I can't use TensorFlow JS quite yet, so I had to learn the regular TensorFlow. And then we had to learn how to then do the AI, and then learn how to convert it to TensorFlow JS, and then learn how to actually use it, right? It was a lot. But here we are. So, what does this thing do? I actually probably need to show that, right? What I need to do is, you guys remember I'm doing a two PC setup, right? So this is actually what makes this a little bit easier for me. So this is what I'm gonna do here, right? You're gonna see. Let's pretend we're playing a game. Okay, we are playing the Overprime game right here and now. All right, and we're in the middle of playing it, all that good stuff, right? And I throw up the AI. I need to start the virtual webcam. All right. So imagine, right? I am playing this Overprime game right now. What you're actually going to be able to do is you enable the webcam, or, you enable access for the website here, right? It's not going to show you much, but it's going to show you a little bit of something, and it's not working. See that? That's crazy, because like it was literally obviously before I came up here, it was working just fine. What happened? What did I break? What did I break, or what did I do? Oh, there it is. It's just really slow, and that's just right, because I'm in the middle of developing it. Let me snooze the ad real quick before we get an ad here. All right, cool. Ad snooze for 5 minutes. All right. So how does this thing work, right? So what it's going to do, because obviously you ain't going to see it right now, because we'll get to that in a second, right? What it's going to be able to do is you'll be able to, as you see, like if you do what I do, where like if you make OBS, maybe look at your monitor screen where you're playing the game, you can use that to feed it as a webcam to the website, right? Connect it up, and then it's going to boom. It'll start populating all of the stuff that it's seeing in your game, right? So it'll be like, oh, what hero are you using? In this case, I'm using Aurora, right? Then it's like, oh, okay. So then, it'll have your items. Here's, because it'll detect the items that you're rocking, and then it'll show you your stats, right? What's your calculated stats? And then when you're coming across an enemy, right? Because all of this won't be here, right? You won't see none of these here at the moment, right? Because I'm gonna have them hiding. Then when you come across an enemy, like see here, like the front, what is that? Sparrow? I think that's Sparrow, right? All of a sudden, boom, Sparrow pop up. And the way I'm gonna have it work is that like if you showed it the that in-game menu screen where you see like the whole, you have the map and all 10 heroes with the items that they have currently built and whatnot, right? If you had showed that at any point in time during that particular gameplay, it's going to remember hopefully, right? This is all hopeful. But it's going to remember all the items everybody had and stuff, right? Because I'm going to have it keep track of what items were next to who. And in that way, when you come across, like, let's say this Iggy, right? Assuming that Iggy didn't, Iggy didn't buy anything between then, which can't really plan for, but it is what it is. We'll get there, right? You'll see Iggy pop up here. You'll see the items that Iggy had, and then like you'll see Iggy stats. And then of course, that same menu screen too also shows you like the enemy's level, right? So obviously like, the stats will be reflective of all of that. That's what I want to be able to do. I wanted to be able to make it so that like for people that's playing the game, as you're playing it, you'll be able to actually look and get live data from the game, just like this. Not quite snappy like that, because this is, man, AI is a beast, I'm trying to tell you. But yeah, that's what we've been working on, right? And it is a massive pain, but we're getting there. I guess now I can kind of actually show this a little bit, right? So like with TensorFlow, I have been hard at work trying to get it to even like to be able to detect like these different things here. Like see, like it detected the thumbnails here. So like we have Countess, Chimera, Sparrow, Twin Blast. It got Aurora, so Rampage. Is that Xena? Yup, Xena. Detected another set of Aurora. Oh, because of the hero too, right? Because you got, you know, the actual character Aurora that you selected, and then what's her face, the thumbnail, right? Revenant, yeah. In-game, oh yeah, I got it because I want to do something with the money too, that as you're building up money, maybe recommend some items that you can buy. You know, like, you know, man, just all kinds of stuff that I just have in my mind that I just got to learn how to just do in artificial intelligence. And it is at the pace I'm going, I'll have it ready in 2028. Most certainly I have it ready in 2028. But as I'm teaching myself and learning, my pace should get significantly faster, hopefully. And when that happens, we should be good. But yeah, I want to see if I can kind of show you guys where's my little array that shows me. No, I think I took that out. I think I took it out. Damn, I was going to show you guys. But like here, like this stuff here, like because this is all part of the whole TensorFlow. Like this, see, this is what I have to deal with. Like, look at this. The arrays of arrays in arrays that are arrays is just wild to me, right? You know, and it is. You know, it's a work in progress. It's going to take me quite a bit, but we are finally we're getting at it. We are getting at it. And so how am I actually even pulling this off? Okay, how am I pulling this off? So I'll say this, that the back end work for doing AI is not that bad once you learn all the things you need to do to make it work, right? There's just one thing that is probably the hardest part of AI, and that is data. Getting the data to train the artificial intelligence to even recognize these things, right? You know, how do I get it to know the difference between Aurora's icon and Sparrow's icon, right? Or an enemy, you know, an enemy Sparrow versus a ally Sparrow, right? Like getting the data to train it to identify that is the part where I made the joke about the 2028 or 2029 release date for this AI, because like this doing the data piece on the training is what's what's slowing me up. Like, as you kind of said, like I kind of already have the logic, most you know, at 3/4 of it on exactly how I want the website to work when it comes to being able to detect these things. It's just the detection part. And so just to kind of give you guys an example of what I'm doing, right? So the way, I got to open up Chrome from this, right? So the way that you train an artificial intelligence to be able to computer vision recognize something that it's looking at is you got to show it examples. So let me, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm going, oh, cool. It even brought me right there. I didn't even have to sign in. All right, let me refresh this so I can stop killing my thing here. But yeah, and then like I gotta make it efficient too, right? Because I don't know how many people kind of have the system that I have, right, to be able to rock some of this stuff, right? TensorFlow JS does have this nice thing where, like, if you don't have a good I think if it just detects a graphics card, it's going to try to use it. But maybe I might have a thing in it to make it so that you can make it use, like, I guess the CPU, if you wanted to use the CPU instead of your graphics card, because, like, you know, you are trying to do it all on the same system. You're trying to play, obviously you're trying to run the game, play the game on the system, and maybe like your graphics card just might not be all that robust. But like I say, you know, one step at a time. I already have in my mind exactly how I would do it. for you CPU folks, make you use your CPU. But anyway, so let's go here, right? So training artificial intelligence to actually recognize something like a character or an item. So first off, so long story short, right? The short version of it is you would just get a bunch of images of said example. Like, let's say I get a bunch of images of Aurora, and then I would use certain types of software to label it to be like, hey, this right here, this is Aurora. This is Aurora here. Here's Aurora here in this picture. Here it is in this picture, right? And then I would feed that into the AI or the training mechanism of AI. And hopefully in showing it enough examples, when I show it the real thing, or like when it's being exposed to an example that it hasn't seen before of Aurora, it will be able to actually detect her. All right. Now, as you guys know, there's like 30 plus characters, and there's I don't know, like 50 items, give or take, or a lot more than 50 items, maybe. I don't know. I didn't count. My brain is just mush right now. So that's what's going to take me a hell of a long time, because like to get photos of every hero and every item in every way it can appear to train it, it just ain't going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So what did I have to also learn how to do? I was like, it'd be really cool if I could figure out how to do videos. And then here's where system limitations come in, guys. So one thing I haven't talked about with my computer system is that, so graphics card, somewhat okay or decent, right? 3070. All right, it's cool, right? CPU, actually, decent as far as like being able to, you can work a little bit with these kind of things, right? That's all. RAM, 32 gigs, right? And 32 gigs is, look, you can already see I'm using almost 20 gigs. I'm not even really running it. I don't even have a game open. Right? 20 gigs, right? That's just because of the AI stuff that I have running in the background here. So 32 gigs is like, all right. And the speed, is that really my speed? Only 2000 megahertz? Damn, I didn't know it was that slow. You got RAM cards that's hitting almost like 6,500? It's almost 7,000 now? Oh my gosh. I did not know it was actually that slow. Don't worry. Distant future, I'll get a new PC, real PC. Hard drive. I'm almost out of space on my hard drive. I've got so much stuff. I think it's a 1 terabyte. It's a 1 terabyte solid state drive, right? So it's a regular solid state. We're not even talking M2 or M4, right? Which is even faster one, right? I'm almost out of space, and doing AI requires a lot of space. Because when you get to the data part of it, it requires a lot of space to the point where it's like, I can't do it on my hard drive. And there was just nothing else I can do about it. I'm not trying to spend money. So I used an external hard drive. I used an 8 terabyte external hard drive. It's a regular hard drive too, a regular external hard drive. So guys, like, I am crawling. Excuse me. When I'm doing the data stuff, bro, I am crawling on some of these tasks that I'm doing. It is just terrible. I got the active time 100%, right? There's a spike, and it wasn't even really doing it. I am crawling. I'm just trying to tell you, it is hard. It is hard because I'm just poor with no hard drive space. So I'm doing this on an external USB hard drive, right? It's not even a solid state external hard drive. It's a regular metal disc spinning hard drive. All right. So it is tough, man. It is tough, but so just picture that, right? So that I am working within those confinements in designing this AI system. So now here we go, right? So now we're rocking an actual Overprime, right? So then I had to be like, okay, so now let's talk about data, labels. Okay. Here is the labels I made manually by hand, right? I had to first think to myself, okay, that question I asked you, right? How does an artificial intelligence tell the difference between your friendly sparrow and your enemy sparrow, right? As far as like on screen, there's only one thing that differentiates the two, and that is the health bar, right? So that means I needed to create two different label versions. I couldn't just make a sparrow label and just grab all of the sparrows. No, I had to make three different versions of sparrow. I had to make hero sparrow, which would represent when you have selected sparrow. So the little shit, where is it? Can I just pull this up? So right here, like the, when the little character icon that you see right here in the bottom right, that would represent hero sparrow, right? That's when you selected sparrow. That's how I can tell what character you selected, because that's unique. You know what I'm saying? There's only going to be that particular icon that's going to detect you being that. And you're like, well, hold on. Well, why couldn't you just use, whatever character you see right here? Well, if you look here, right, Aurora's back would look the same if it was an ally's Aurora back or enemy Aurora back. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, this is the only surefire way I can detect what character you're using. Right here was going to be this little icon. So I was like, okay, cool. Now let's see, ally Sparrow, right? So now every time Sparrow came up in the data I'm working with, I have to make sure I try to catch a Sparrow and the health bar, right? Because the health bar is going to be either green or red. And I'm hoping, now this is somebody who's not a data scientist, not a machine learning expert, not a computer vision expert, right? I am doing all this at the cuff, all right, at the cuff of my sleeves here, like just trying to actually learn and figure this stuff out, right? So I'm hoping that showing it enough sparrows with health bar right above it would help the AI be able to tell between team ally sparrow and enemy sparrow, because I show sparrow with the red health bar, right? Now, what does that mean? That means that reliability is going to be a hell of a challenge, because right, I am going to be a slave and limited to the data I just have, right? So if I have 50 examples of ally sparrow and only 5 examples of enemy sparrow, there's a really good chance that there could be cases where enemy sparrow on your screen gets detected as ally sparrow, right? And that's just the way it is. I mean, there's no getting around that. So, over time it'll get better, right? Hopefully, because I gotta learn how to build off of training. When I only know how to train AI just one time, I don't fully understand training it additionally after you train it the first time, but that's just another story for another time. Anyway, so yeah, so there you go, 3 different versions of the hero, right, that I gotta make. Then I made the thumbnail. I had to make an additional additional label of the thumbnail representation of the hero, right? Because I want the AI to be able to detect kind of like what I was showing you on my website. Golly, man, I know I got a lot of stuff, guys. I wanted it to be able to detect the thumbnails as a fail-safe measure. So remember when I talked about reliability as far as not mistaking enemy sparrow for hero sparrow? Well, what if in the game there is only one sparrow in it, and that is going to be the enemy sparrow? How would I even be able to pull that off? Well, if I train it on the thumbnails, right, I can use some logic. Just as long as the AI detects it, I can use some logic to kind of restrict cases where the AI might misidentify something. So like if I'm detecting 10 thumbnails, right, correctly, let's assume it's correct, right? Okay, I detected 10 thumbnails and only one is a sparrow, enemy sparrow. Then that means that anytime that the AI detects a ally sparrow, I can disregard that, or I could either disregard it, or I can just assume that is actually enemy sparrow and then work logic as enemy sparrow, right? And I just thought of that on the fly, and I actually already have it in my mind exactly how to implement this stuff, and my brain is burning right now. Jesus Christ, my brain is burning. Guys, y'all don't understand just how much brain work artificial intelligence takes. It's just crazy. It's really just crazy. But yeah, I had to do the thumbnails. So here's the thumbnail. Oh yeah, now you go to items, right? Because I'm gonna need to be able to detect the items to do the stuff that I wanted to do, right? Okay, now let's talk about the some of the extra stuff on the screen. So let me go back here. Kind of open you up just a wee bit here so we can talk about something. All right. I have it training on. I also have the AI learning how to identify currency or just like the existence of such. Detecting the actual numbers is going to be a different story. I'm gonna have to use something else for. But anyway, yeah, currency is going to detect the items, right? And then the menu game bar. Why is the menu game bar important, right? Well, logic reasons. So when it comes to those thumbnails, the way I'm going to do it is if it detects the game bar, so I call it the game bar or whatever, right? Then I know that the icons on the left are supposed to be ally thumbnails, and then the ones on the right are supposed to be enemies, right? Once I lock those in, so first off, that'll help me with misidentification, right? Because in case if it detects an enemy thumbnail on the left side, I can be like, okay, you're full of it. That ain't it. But secondly, too, so that way I can be like, okay, so, you know, here's like all of the characters is going to be in game, right? And I can then lock them into the website so that way, in case anything changes, anything that the AI changes, I can disregard, assuming that we're still in the same game, right? Obviously, we're in the same game. That was that. I don't have an example of it, but oh yeah, you know what? I think I do. I think I'm gonna just stop the camera now. Yeah, because I don't need you burning my system. Actually, I do have an example of then the other screen here. So let me go here to what is it? My machine learning right here. This picture. All right. So this picture here, right? I'm going to also train it on identifying this too, right? So what's this? This, right? That in-game screen I was talking about, right? If I can have it detect this, once it detects that, then I could throw logic in it and be like, okay, right? All the items that you're detecting, right? Get the positions of said items, right? And then the ones that's closest to said detected thumbnail or icon, right? That's how you can associate such and such, right? And then remember it. So whenever you show it the screen, it should hopefully remember it, right? That's what I'm doing there. Now, let's go to the actual thing just so I can kind of show you guys what this looks like. And then after that, then we're done. Right? Because I said, I just want to give an update on just all the different things I'm working on so you guys just know. So first off, remember I said about the system thing, not having good space, having to use an external hard drive, stuff like that. Oh yeah, CVAT. So the software CVAT, all right, was the only software that I could find that was checked all the boxes I needed. I needed something that was going to be free, wasn't going to cost me money. The setup is not easy, is not very easy. It's easy, but it's not at the same time. It's a bit of a pain, especially when stuff goes wrong. I've had to nuke the software a couple of times to get it to work. And it works on videos. Now, how did I get past the whole needing a lot of data thing? I could just use videos. Why don't I just use videos of gameplay? If I could just use videos of gameplay and annotate those, right, it'll get all of the data it needs, right? Because it can get it from all of the frames in there. Now, how we would like it to work, right, is that you have a 60 frame per second video, right? And then let's say, you know, and I'm even I'm gonna show you the math here. So y'all just don't think I'm crazy, right? If I have a 60 frame a second video, all right, and okay, so 60 frames, right? That's per second. So for 60 seconds, right? So this is the frames per minute, right? So there's 3,600 frames in a minute. And then let's say we have then a 10-minute video. So then I have a 10-minute video, right? 36,000 frames. This is where space became a huge problem for me, a massive problem, because when you're working with video, it's annotating every single, like you are going through a video frame by frame, right? And I tried it with a 1 minute video, and my God, my stuff was just basically dead. Right. And it didn't corrupt, but it was acting like it was corrupted when I tried to like do the work. Cause like I said, remember, I'm using this is on an external hard drive. The stuff might not even be truly optimized and what it's just, it was painful. So I had to do some extra learning, and then I figured out how to get CVAT to actually pick like skip a certain amount of frames. And so I was like, look, I just don't have the space, nor do I have the power really to work with this many frames in a 10-minute video. So I was like, all right, so let's do 2 frames a second. So this here is me. So this is a video, right? So let's just say this is a video, and I set CVAT to only work with 2 frames a second in the videos that we're going to use in order to train our artificial intelligence to identify these things, right? So here you can see like I got, look, see, here's Decker, Rafe, Murdoch, Grux, and FaZe, right? This is Hero Zena, right? Because this person used Zena. Here's some of the items, stuff like that. If I go to the next frame, right? So go to the next frame, right? I'm on frame 12, but you see it skipped a lot of stuff. Like if I was working with the video as it was, how CVAT would have processed it, it would have been like literally like the very next frame in it. But like we're chopping out a lot of frames. On one hand, like it sucks because you're losing a lot of data to be able to work with when it comes to training artificial intelligence to really identify these objects. But on the second hand, then like it makes it a lot faster and more unique, right? So the data will be a little bit more unique because a 60 frame per second video is going to have, in that 1 second, those 60 frames, a lot of that's going to be redundant. I mean, really, unless like the action, you're in the thick of the action where every second is like going, wow, it's like a fight or something, right? It's just going to be repetitive, and that can, my limited understanding is that that hurts making artificial intelligence be able to identify these god darn things. But here, right, let's say I got it, I'm doing my labeling, right? Here goes some of the enemies, right? I know it looks terrible, like you can barely probably even see these people, but that was another thing too. In order to get this to work on my system with my limited little crappy hard drive, was that I was able to reduce the quality a little bit, like maybe 70% or whatever of visual. When it does the actual exporting of the training, then it uses the show quality, so then like these would look a lot better, and it's not just blobs, right? I just need to understand that. I just need to be able to see or understand who these people are. All right, so here, look, we'll go to the next frame. So see, and you see like these frames are actually moving because it is the cool thing with CVAT, once you annotate these and with a little bit of tinkering, you got to do, a lot of tinkering. When you do a lot of tinkering, then like you can, it could do some of the tracking for you and tracking these individual items. So that way, like when you finally build your data set, it has, you have a reliable annotated output, Like I said, I'm not a machine learning expert, nor am I a computer vision expert. So my terms and everything I'm going to say and use, don't expect much. But yeah, look, see, and you see, like I'm jumping a frame, but a lot has changed, and that's just because we're chopping out so much to get this to work, so we don't kill our system. But see, here's Grux back there, and you can see, these labels are still here, right? And remember, with every single frame that's going, that's an additional, like this picture, an additional picture for the artificial intelligence system to get an example of set items, so that when we go back to our when we go back to our website and we enable the video feed, so it's watching you playing the game, it's then detecting all of the different things, and it's hopefully doing it reliable, because it should have hopefully gotten enough examples. Like see here, like we don't see anything here, so that's why none of the labels for Grux over there. But let's keep going, right? No label for Grux, don't see none. We still got the labels here. All right, still nothing, because this is just all a big blur, and that was another problem when it came to fast-paced action. It's just nothing it was really nothing I could just do about it. I just if I can't reliably see that this is who I know is here, but it's just a blob, I'm just going to take the label out. And so does that. So let me just kind of skip her. So see, here we go. So here go the enemies, right? And just notice, right? I got kind of zoom that a little bit, right? I got, I got the enemy, and I'm trying my best to capture their bar. I don't want to try and capture the names. I try my best not to capture the names on it, but it is what it is. But yeah, like that's just what it is. So see, and then let's see, it's again, right? I can't tell what I'm looking at, so we're just going through. So let me just go ahead and skip through. Remember, this is all from a video, that's been like I said, we just dropped a lot of the frames. This is who? Murdoch, right? This Phase. Yep, this was Phase. I'll go through, see Murdoch, Phase, barely, but you can tell it's her. Barely, but you can tell it's her. Yeah, Murdoch again. All right, see, now they're dead. Phase is off again. Phase is too blurry. There go Phase. All right, so yeah, see, like, we got it. Oh, and then look, see, I took it off here, right? But that's Phase, because again, if I can't, I'm trying my best that if I can't see the health bar, I don't want it included, because I need the AI to be able to try its best to just detect between when it's an ally version of the hero and when it's an enemy version of the hero. So yeah, that is, that's what I'm feeling. Like I say, and we got a lot of video. See, this is another video from whoever it is. Right, but we got another video. Quang, he's using Quang, right? So let's see, we got Hero Quang labeled up. We got the new items. Oh, you see here, my ring of protection slid off, so now I gotta go back and look at that and see. And that was just how it is, man. Like, and then you see here, like some of the videos, like you got people that put all these overlays and stuff. So then like I can't really use it, right? So see, I took some of the labels out because like the overlays that they have is getting in the way. So yeah, that's that. And I see that yeah, let me wait. Do you guys see it? You see how this ring of protection label is just slowly drifting off? You can see it slowly. Let me, before I even fix it, let me just show you, right? It's slowly drifting off. That's one of the things, right? Like CVAT is doing its best to try and track it, but as the graphics and stuff is moving, right, it can get confused, and then it starts just tracking the wrong thing, and then that's what I'm watching for, right? See, I got Countess right here. Like every single frame, I have to recheck every single label, right, to make sure that it's working how it's working. For items that might be old or that aren't being used in the game no more, or I can't just identify. I'm just not going to label them. See, Countess is still right there because you can still see her. See, this is slowly drifting off, but everything else is looking good, right? Now I want you guys to just imagine, right? You're doing this the regular way. You would be doing this for every single photo. So you get a photo, you label everything on that photo, then you go to the next photo and then you do it again. Next photo, do it again, right? So, and you want to do that for what, 30 plus heroes, 50 plus items, right? To include then like some of the in-game assets in order to help with your logic. If you want to detect certain things in order to safeguard from, or do extra logic that I'm planning on doing. They're like, no. There was just no way I was not about to put myself through that. And so I was like, CVAT was the only thing that looked like it was going to save me some time, because like I said, I can do video. So with the little tracking feature, it ain't perfect. It's barely good, but that could just be a me thing, because like I said, I don't know how to use most of this stuff really much efficiently. But like I said, you can see that, the tracking stuff, at least like it'll do some of the legwork for me, and like bring in these labels over to the next one and the next one, so that way I don't have to sit here and I gotta click each single label, like, because my God, the data stuff is crazy. Now with CVAT in particular, here's what I'm eventually gonna learn when I start getting good. CVAT has is it on here? Can I see? I don't see the screen. I know it's on here somewhere, but I just don't know. Yeah, I don't know what. region, this, move this. Don't see it, right? I don't know where it's at. Like I said, I'm not that good. Auto annotation. I will save. So let me save this, and let's go back to the project. Let's go to models. All right. Auto annotation. As a matter of fact, can't I? Can I do? Or do I have to do it on the jobs? I probably have to go to the job and let me see. Is it in the job? Okay, let's go into the job. Where is it? I really want to be able to show you guys, and I just don't know where it's at. I just don't know where it's at, but I know it's in task. Here we go. Automatic. Okay, yeah, automatic annotation. So what really sold me for using CVAT, and when I start to get good at it, once I have enough manual labeling, right, of where I'm identifying these stuff. What's the one I'm looking for? Like once my artificial intelligence model is good enough, then I'm gonna figure out how to get it to work in CVAT, right? Get the model itself to work in CVAT, and then CVAT can automatically annotate the data. When I saw this, I was like, "Brev, this is a no-brainer. Why would I not do this? This is crazy, right? I just got to get the initial model thing, which is what's just going to be the hardest thing. It's going to take me the longest of times. But, right, because I'll be using the model that's going to have all of the labels that I'm using, and boom, 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 boom. So I was like, okay, so this was that, right? So, yeah, that is about where we're at. I would show you guys where to, how the export looks, how long the exporting takes, like after I'm done with this, because they got to export all, what was it? My last job, my thing I did in order to get the website up and going, I think had 8,000 frames in it. And I was and that was just I think that was just a 5-minute video. I think it was a 5-minute video. It was like 8,000 frames. And so then it took like an hour. No, it took almost an hour before it had it zipped up and ready to export, right? Because like I said, my external hard drive is dog-ish slow. But yeah, once the data was exported and I had it on the computer, then I had to fight like crazy with TensorFlow in Python to then train it. Once I figured out the training, right, and then I had to figure out how to converting it wasn't too bad, right? Then actually working with the conversion, which took me like a long time. Every single thing I just mentioned took me weeks on weeks to get it right. And we're finally at a point now where now we just need to get good data, right? We just need to get good data, get the good labeling. That's going to take me a week or 2 or maybe 3, right? If I have the time to put time into it, because it's very time intensive. But I really think that once I get like a good 2, maybe 3 weeks of solid just doing what I was just showing you guys, just annotating, just multiple examples. The next iteration of the artificial intelligence model that I train should actually be somewhat decent. I hope. And then there's still some lapse in my knowledge in really implementing everything I want, right? Because that thing I said about like detecting the items and then associating them with the hero it's closest to, right? That means I got to actually figure out image location, right? As far as like it detected the item, where in the picture did it detect it at, how to calculate that, how to calculate the thumbnail, it being reliably calculated at that particular location, the conversion from somebody's camera feed, because they can be feeding it 1080p video, they could be feeding it 720 video, right? And then my model, because the model particularly I'm using, because my computer wasn't that good, was a model that only handle images up to 320 in height and width, right? So then my my website then takes your feed at whatever size it is, downscales it to that particular size, and then the AI does this thing to then detect the images, right? So then you're talking about maybe potential distortions or something. Maybe, I don't know, right? I don't know how much of this stuff works. I'm learning, right? Once I get those locations, then I gotta figure out how to convert those locations to the original size location to do it, or maybe I could just leave it as is. And it is absurd the amount of work I individually by myself have to do. But I love it, and I'm going to keep working on it, and we'll see what happens. But with that being said, that is all I wanted to show for this particular stream. It went a little bit longer than I would have liked, but almost an hour, 53 minutes. All right, well, 10 of those minutes was, a little intro, but yeah, that's about it. But yeah, I don't have much else now to show you guys. I'm not going to be up again for at least a couple of weeks because I'm going to be doing data stuff. If I am, I might actually do stream a little bit, just like playing a game or something. As a means to get a break from like this trauma that I keep putting myself through with AI now. But yeah. That's that. So guys, that's it. That's all we have until my next update, which maybe it'll be the rate I'm going maybe next year. Right? It's already November 5th. Now we'll have another update. I think, you know what? Let's hold ourselves. Let's try to set a goal. Let me look at this calendar here. All right. If I'm, every day I'm working on data annotation, right? Because now I could just sit back and work on making quality data labels. Where are we at? Today's the 5th. I got a lot of stuff I'm doing from this point forward to Monday. Let's shoot for the 25th. I think. So I'm working data, right? So my current data set that I am using right now is straight from Overprime's YouTube channel themselves, right? But I think I'm working with the breathtaking moments, right? Let's see. They're like 10. Well, okay, they're like roughly 10. Can I do my name? Okay, yeah, here we go. Okay. Okay, that number's about that number's like 10 minutes long, so that's good. At least. Oh, this one's like 9:27. I was just looking at it. 9:27. What's that? Breathtaking moment number 16? Okay. I wanna say, especially since I'm chopping out a lot of the other frames and the videos and whatnot. If I could do okay. We're shooting. Okay, our goal is going to be the 25th is when we're going to take a data pause, and then we're going to then train the model. So I'm hoping to hopefully, this is like what, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? So this is about almost 3 weeks. This is 3 weeks. I was going to say till breathtaking moment 10, but really 3 weeks, especially as I'm getting more comfortable faster and used to it, and assuming that I don't crash or corrupt my CVAT thing for like the 6th or 7th time now. I learned how the backups work. Learned that the hard way. I want to say hopefully maybe we can get the like breathtaking moment 15. It might be a bit ambitious, right? Well, look, see, they get smaller and smaller a little bit. Okay. Our goal is at least 10, but we're going to try and get to like breathtaking moment 15 for what we have labeled by the 25th. And hopefully if we get to that, after that, then I'll export my labels and whatnot, because that should have given me a lot. You know what? And if we have some spare time, like if we somehow some way have 15 done before we get there, we'll also real quick do like an additional job with the base images. So like the base images of the items and maybe like the menus or something like that, just to kind of just throw them in there. Once I have all of that, what's the word I'm looking for? yeah, then we export. So then on 25th, so our goal is on 25th. So then that way I'll do the export thing, and I'll do that live just so you guys can kind of see, because then at that point we should have some fairly decent, good quality data, or yeah, good quality data to train the artificial intelligence system in. And then once we train it, because you guys probably, you know, if you're into that stuff, right? Otherwise, you'll just know I'm doing it, and then you'll just come back later when it's done, because or I might time lapse it. I'll figure that out later. But yeah, we'll train it, and then after that, I'll load it up on the website. We'll then run the video feed, and then we'll see what it's able to detect, right? Because we'll start throwing some examples and whatnot, and then yeah, I want to say that that'll be that, right? Because that'll be our first checkpoint. And then at that point, I want to say at that point, then I'll take a break from data to learn more TensorFlow stuff, like resuming from checkpoints, what's like the most optimal way of doing that, and all that other good jazz. But yeah, that about completes today's stream, guys. So we're done with that. If anybody, last thing we wanted to talk about, right? I was gonna do questions. There's one more thing to show you. So like, what did my AI system show me, right? Because like I said, there's some stuff on the website when I was dealing with the other portions of it that I ain't show you guys, but I have an image to kind of show you guys. So here's going to be a secret that not too many people really know about, and unless they might have fixed it in a couple updates, I think this will probably still be the case. But guys, my AI has stumbled onto something crazy. Let me see if I'll be able to find it. Oh yeah, here we go. Guys, item order matters. When you have, is it still showing? These item orders, I know this is the old thing, right? They got the, you know, the rework and stuff, right? The order that you get your items matter. Your stats will have will have a completely different outcome as far as like what increase in stats you get, depending on how the order in which you stack your items. Now, how did I know this, right? Because my AI had pointed it out to me when I was experimenting. All right, and you can test this yourself, right? Here's the easiest way you can test this. All right, I want you guys to look at this, right? Here's if you go into the battleground. Oh yeah, cool. See, I even got the things. Look at Chimera. Chimera does not have any magical power. All right. Now, if I make Chimera purchase Rampaging Total, which is going to increase his magical power by 120, right? He's going to get magical power at 0. And this Chimera is the easiest for you guys to see this because he you know, he's 0, right? He starts off with 0, so the math is a little bit easier for you to do, right? He'll get 120 magical power from Rampaging Total, and then he'll get a 30% increase based off of the magical power he has, right? Now this is important. You got to look at this, right? Here's what my AI had showed me. So he's going to have 120 magical power plus an additional 30% off of that, whatever his magical power is, which is 0, but is going to be given 120. So if I do times 0.30, 36, right? So plus 120. So his magical power is going to be 156, right? From Rampaging Total. Okay. Now, what if, so I'm going to do this. Now, if I give him Echidna's, what is it? Echidna's? God, I have no idea how to even pronounce that properly. Echidna's trick. Echidna's trick gives him 60 magical power, but it also increases his magical power equal to 3.5% of max mana. Okay, now this is where some creative stuff happens, right? Now remember, right? So his magical power with just Rampaging Total alone was going to be 156, right? Echidna gives, I know it's not Echidna, but Echidna, let's say Echidna, right? Echidna is going to increase it by another 60. In addition to that, then it's also going to take 3.5% of his max mana, which in this example here at level 1 is 877. So what's that? 216. So let's get the math here, right? So 877 times what is it? It's 0.35, right? That represents 3.5%. 30, right? So let's assume that's like let's say it's 31. We'll do it later, right? So if I add that to I forgot my numbers already, right? It was the 160. Can I open parentheses, right? 160 plus was it 160 times 0.3, close it, right? So that's 48. So 160 48, right? Close that, right? So that closes that one. That's 208. Okay, so that's 208 magical power. Now remember, right? That 30%, was it 30%? Yeah, that 30% that Rampaging Total is going to give, right? So Rampaging Total is supposed to do it based off of the magical power, right? So that means the way it's actually going to work is 160, right? Which is Rampaging Total plus the 60. What was 3.5% of his mana total? Is it going to show me? It's not going to show me? Oh, yeah. 30.695, right? Plus 30.695. That's at 250. Am I tripping? That already looks like, that already look like much, right? All right. And if I multiply that by 0.30, it's 75. I'm doing this all wrong. I had this all set up in my mind and I am doing it wrong. I'm doing, let's see, 500. Right, because 75 to 250, that's going to bust it at 264. Let me reset myself, because maybe Rampaging Total. Oh yeah, you know what? Duh, I can, let me slow this up some. Hold on, I'm going to show you. Let's close that. Okay, yeah, there we go. Let me do that. Let me open up the second one, right? Boom. That's, yeah, it's good enough. Looks good enough. Okay. All right. Oh, that's right, because I already had a Kadina's thing on. Okay, I had to remember. I was like, hold on, that doesn't make sense. Cause see, I messed myself up just because the item order was different from how I was even calculating it from the start, right? So he has the gloves on first, right? So the glove, so here we go, right? Glove had 60 plus it did 3.5% of the mana, right? So what was it? It was 877 times 0.035. All right, plus the 60. There we go. Okay. Yeah, see, there we go, right? So 90.695 mana, right? Now, right, because we had in here, we had the glove first. Then we added Rampaging Total. I should have done a little better job, but it's all right. It's all right. Right now, we're going to add Rampaging Total. So now I'm going to add Rampaging Total's magical power, which is 210. Then, right, you know, Rampaging Total gives you the 30% buff. So 210. Right, plus 210.695. It should probably be like 70, but you know, yeah, let's do 70. Go back. Let's round it up. 210.7 times 30%, right? Because we get the 30% buff, right? So that's 63. And then it's 273,905, right? but clearly we at 264.7. So obviously my math isn't letting me do this, and I think that's very likely probably because of the 3.5% mana. The 3.5% mana is probably 3.5% mana is being applied after Rampaging Total does its calculation. So let's try that and see if we can get to this magic number of 264.7. So the glove had 60 magical power. Rampaging Total has 120. That's 180. So 180, let me do 0.30. 54. So I plus that plus the 180. That gives me 234. Now if I add that to what was his mana thing? It was 877 times 0.035, which was 30. Yeah, here we go. And now if I equal that, 264.7. You see that? So I have the glove on first, right? Rampaging Total, right? So when I had the glove on first, it should have automatically been adding 3.5% of his mana to his health, right? So when I added Rampaging Total should have then increased his mana, increased his magical power, then did the math of taking the 30% from his magical power, and then increasing it by that much. But it's not doing that, right? It's not it won't take whatever the Echidna's trick, whatever Echidna is doing to adding to the magical power is not being recognized by Rampaging Total. Now here's where it gets crazy, right? So the things aren't being recognized and applied like you would have expected. But now, if I flip this around, so now let's say that I had put on, whoa, where'd it go? What happened? That's item 3. Oh, don't tell me I didn't. There's no way I hold myself like that. We're gonna find out though. Can I? Okay, yeah. See, that's still 2. So that's still 2. But where the hell's the third image at? Yeah, this is the third one now, right? Let me see. Okay, yeah. So here's the third one. I'm gonna move this over here so you can kind of see. All right. So here's the third one where I had I flipped the what's the word I'm looking for? I flipped the item order. Now you can see here that I had put I took them off. I put Rampaging Total I put Rampaging Total first. I think the way I had applied it on here, I should have probably been going left to right, but I think I just I think like when you purchase it, like it just like it fills it itself for whatever reason. So I think it did like that. That's why I took that very first image. But I purchased Rampaging Total first, and then I purchased the glove, right? Because the first one I did it the other way, where I purchased the glove first, and then I'm just call it the glove. I am not going to give it its proper name no more. The glove first, and then I purchased the Total. So now look at the difference in magical power. His magical power is at 273.9 at that order. But if you do the glove first and then Rampaging Total, his magical power is 264.7. So what does that mean? That means item order matters. Crazy, isn't it? Item order actually matters, and if you don't do the order right, you're going to sell yourself some magical power. Now here's the thing, what I didn't test because I said I was just limited on time. Well, will that change or reset if I purchase a third item, right? So like, let's say just because of the order or just like how they apply things, like when an item is added, right? Maybe it was, maybe it's frozen, and then that's why, you get this 264.7, but it would then recalculate and give you whatever it was you was owed if I had put a third item on there, right? Would that matter? Yes and no. It would matter, yes, because then that means that it would just eventually fix itself. But that is a stupid way of looking at it, because that means you would sell yourself. You would sell yourself until you get to that point, meaning that you'd be in a weak, meaning like if you was fighting like your twin, your doppelganger in the game, like if I was fighting an enemy chimera, let's just assume, you know, they use magical power, right? And he had his item order the right way, right? He would be stronger than me. And that shouldn't be the case. There should be no reason why, like, you have the same items I have, but you're stronger than I am just because of the order you put your items in, right? That's crazy. Not only that, right, but you shouldn't even rely on that too, because then that also means is that, like, if you, depending on how you build your items, right, when you get to item 5 and 6, if they're not in the right order, like, that's it. Once you bought that 6th item, it's not like you buying a 7th item, right? Unless you sell something, it's not like you're buying a semi. That means that you're locked in, right? You're going to be locked into whatever order you just bought that. You bought item 5 and 6 in. So if item 5 was Rampaging Total or the glove, and then Rampaging Total, right? You're owed. You'd be owed, right? You're not, now you're capped at a magical power that's lower than what you would have had if you had the items in the right place. And to me, that's crazy. That is pretty crazy. It was already wild to me when my AI pointed out that all of the heroes have different attack speeds, like natural attack speeds and different natural movement speeds. Because I'm used, I don't know, maybe I don't pay enough attention to some of the other MOBAs I was playing, but it seemed like all of the heroes' movement speed, as far as when they move on the map, and then their attack speed were all like the same. I was told that that's probably not the case. Maybe, I don't know. But when AI showed me that, and I was like, okay, I need the what else am I like not paying attention to? And then it showed me the goddamn stats, item stats, right? So to recap, before I end the stream, item order matters. Item order definitely matters. If you build what is it? If you know in your kit, if you use glove, if you build the glove first and then Rampaging Total, you're going to be lower. I think either way, right? Either way, you're going to get different. You're going to get different magical power stats, right? One is going to be lower than the other, and that is going to hold you for my big, especially my people that be really deep into the, you know, the MOBA stuff professionally or whatever. You guys should actually pay close attention to that. Really look at your item orders to make sure that you're really getting that bang for your buck. You don't want to sell yourself short. So with that being said, that is the end of our stream. Guys, you know, we went over hour and 15 minutes, much longer than I really wanted to do, but at least, you know, we covered a lot of stuff. Like I said, and plus it was just a lot of like just personal update on like just what the hell I've been doing in regards to artificial intelligence. Because like, my guys, it's just, the stuff ain't easy. The stuff ain't easy at all. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead. We're going to kill the stream. You might see me back up sometime during the week, next week, or maybe the weekend or whatever. Because I'm gonna start playing like one of my VR games. I want to like just start like rocking one of the VR games a little bit. But other than that, yeah, that'd be it. It'll just be back to business as usual. So with that being said, guys, thank you all for everybody that popped by. Like I say, you already know what we do here. We don't do streams ain't gonna be entertaining. They're just gonna be nerdy and informative on like the stuff that we're working on. And hopefully, you know, hopefully sometime soon, like we'll get the AI thing really going. We'll get the website really going with the stuff that I want to have in it, and hopefully then people will start to actually use it and like it. That's it. See you guys next time.